Well, whew, welcome to hanging out in the cold. So, surprise, I kind of had the day off of work. Of course, I went in and stood around for 2 hours before I was told that I had the day off. So, gotta love that. I gotta leave here at 1 a.m. to go to Boise, so. Looks like I'm just hanging out. The wife and the kids are at the grocery store, a town over, so they won't be back for a few hours. So I stopped at Napa and got some parts for the car. So taking care of some of that now. Alright, so what are we doing? Well, I replaced that fuel filter there. That is the primary fuel filter. When you look at that, you're kind of like, oh well, yeah, it looks like a nice new filter. Yeah, got green fuel in it, the way it's supposed to be. Here's the one we removed out of the car. What do you think? I would say it was time for a new one. That's the clean side. This is the dirty side here. Camera doesn't want to focus. Yep. So it's definitely time that happened. And then here's a fuel line. Oh, come on. Let's get some focus here. You can see the cracks in it. And yeah, when I was pushing on it, it was real ugly. Come on. Give me some focus, man. There you go. You can kind of see the cracks in it. It was really bad when you put a little tension on it. Of course, there you go. I guarantee that's factory. So we replaced it here. That's this one. That's the primary feed. So this here, let's see, let's try to get a look here. That thing that says Bosch right there, that is the mechanical fuel pump. Kind of works like an old gas motor, with the little ting 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 little push rod. So it draws fuel in from the fuel system here and pushes it up into the secondary filter, which is here. Which of course then it goes to our friend right here, Mr. Injection Pump, which then injects it into the motor. And these are return lines here, which they're all in series, and then that comes back to here. This line, which goes to the other side of the injection pump, I'm not sure what that is. It looks like we got one. Yeah, we got one there and one there. Yeah, that'd be this one, and oh, this is a return line as well, because this return line comes in and this return line comes in, so it's like a double banjo here. And that's a return line from the pump, and this is a return line from the injectors. That's the feed, and this is the return line to the tank, and of course that's the feed from the mechanical pump on the side. Draws it through a filter, through a pump, into a second filter, into the injection pump. So, and this is a primer. You run out of fuel. I should have recorded that. Like when I was filling up the fuel filter here, you just push on it, and it of course it's all full now, but and it bleeds all the air out, so you don't gotta sit here and crank it for 30 minutes. Next thing we're gonna do, oil change. So let's do that now. Alright, if I've got to explain how to do an oil change, you probably shouldn't be on my YouTube channel. So here's the oil filter housing here. I already pulled the filter out. It's just two 13 millimeters that hold that on, and just whole thing slides up here. There she is, and there's the old filter. So we got the new filter here. I'll grab it out of its little basket. Oh, there we go. Look at this little buddy. Hey, little buddy. So he's gonna go to his new home. Of course, we got us a new gasket. O-ring that sits here. So we'll change this old one out right now, and put the new O-ring on there, and then drop our little buddy into his hole, and drain the oil out. Alright, new filter is in his home. So now, let's see. You can always tell, because those are oil stains from a gasoline car. Those are oil stains from a diesel. There's a gasoline one next to it, and then a diesel one. Much darker. Look at the color difference. Like that one back there to this one. Oh yeah. My mother-in-law loves me leaking all this crap all over her driveway. Anyway, the front main seal is gonna need to be replaced eventually. That's what all this mess is the front main. So maybe one day. Hello, trans cooler line. Hello, other trans cooler line. You look like you want to be disconnected and run up to a trans cooler that I'm gonna mount behind the bumper, like right there in that giant gaping hole. Right there. Oh yeah, look at all that room. Could shove a child in there. Just disconnect it right here, and then it'll have its own. We'll just pipe it in line, so then once it leaves the trans cooler, it goes back into the factory one in the radiator. I think that it's a good idea. I found cheap trans coolers for like 20 bucks on Summit Racing, so I might just do that. Even though the car shifts better when the tranny's warm than when it's cold. A cold tranny's better than a warm one, so, or a hot one. And we're eventually going to hot rod this thing a little bit, so, you know, it's good to take all the proper precautions. Anyways, let's drain that oil. Alright. I am inside. And I'm inside because we had quite the event happen. So, changing the oil, you know, no big deal. Pull the drain plug and drain the oil. But here's why I'm inside, because they went from good to bad real quick. For some reason I thought I read that it holds 7 quarts of oil, and so my drain pan holds like 7 quarts. I'm draining it, and the drain pan's like full, dude. I mean it's like full, right? And so it gets done draining, and I put the drain plug back in, and I'm trying to pull it out. I mean, it's like, right at the top. It holds 8 quarts of oil, not 7. So that little drain pan was super full. I was trying to pull it out, made a mess all over the driveway, like super old diesel oil, which, you know, stains everything. And I got some on the concrete in the driveway, and I was like, oh, it's my mother-in-law's driveway, right? And Alicia's car leaks all over, but I mean, that's gas oil, dude. Like, it's not diesel oil. So I'm frustrated, and so I took my vape and I put it on the top of the driver tire, and you know, to get it out of my pocket because I'm laying under the car. And finally got the drain pan pulled out, and then I'm trying to pour it from the drain pan into a jug, you know, into a funnel. Well, instead of just coming out the spout, you know, on the pan, it starts coming out all around the sides, all over the driveway. Made the mess 3 times bigger. And yeah, so I had to sit up there with a couple old articles of clothing, soaking it all up, spraying the concrete down with brake clean, scrubbing it. It just got real bad. Then I got in the car, backed the car up, So I clean up the little mess that was under it from moving the drain pan out. I put the car in reverse, I go backwards, and it's like, ka-thump. What was that? I know what that was. It was my vape. So, ran the vape over. Luckily, because I love these things, shake and bake, Ricky Bobby. The metal's a little bent, but it's got batteries in it still. Works just fine. It broke the glass, and I drove to a vape store, and they stocked replacement glass for $7. So I bought a piece of replacement glass for it. But oh yeah, I'm just gonna change the oil. Nothing ever goes simple, you know. So even an oil change can turn into a nightmare real quick. Mostly just making a big mess and running over my vape, but alright, the oil change went good. I put 7 quarts in it, so it's a quart low. But big deal, you know, whatever. I'll go buy another quart eventually. But yeah, it's finally done. Now I'm relaxing in the house, and it was a successful job all in all. So could be worse. Could just be full of old nasty oil that hasn't been changed since God knows when, because I sure don't. So I'm gonna send this one off. So yeah, job well done. Another successful day.